Alright, welcome back. And this morning I was kind of in the mood to draw maybe just do some quick sketches of figure drawing. And so I was looking online and I saw this image, which is kind of cool. He's very lean, he's got some nice tones. It's not bulging muscles or anything, but I think there's enough where we can, have some fun sketching this. Right, so for figure drawing, I mean, there's so many different ways of drawing things. I think if I remember, like, taking those life drawing classes back then, they'll teach you to, start out drawing like, where the spine's gonna be, and then here's the torso. I'm drawing kind of small, and I'm just using a 6B, and then here's the pelvis here, and then here's the bone, and you go through all this. Here's the angle for the knees. Let's see. I'm just sketching. I actually want to draw a different way, so I'm just kind of show you what you will learn in if you take any kind of life drawing classes, which is really fun, by the way. I really love life drawing classes. Okay, so things like that, right? You learn the skeletal structure, and then you slowly go in. And then, here's the rib cage, and they actually draw in all the anatomy, which is kind of nuts. But, that's the correct way of doing life drawing, I guess, to really learn the human body. And it's very complex. It's extremely complex. So here's the knees, the legs. All right. Well, actually, it's not too bad. So let me keep going. So let me see if I can end up with anything good here. And I actually had a drawing lesson with Glenn Vilpool. When I was working at Rhythm and Hughes, they actually invited him, to show all the artists there just about drawing human anatomy, because it is very good. I mean, even though we're doing special effects for movies, all of us there are artists in one way or another. So we do animations and things like that, and it's actually really fun. And what I learned from him was, basically all this stuff, but even more so. And his technique was just amazing. Just seeing him draw, he's just so natural at it. I mean, he's been doing it all his life, right? So what do you expect? So yeah, I learned quite a bit, but then unfortunately, you lose a lot of that knowledge because we don't really use it. Okay, so like for this one, so here's the chest. And then here's the arm, and there's a lot of, I'm just going right over these lines. And then, so with life drawing, it's nice to be able to draw these contour lines over the body. So it will kind of help dictate the direction of the forms. So like the legs kind of coming forward to us, so we're gonna draw these little contour lines like that, and that'll help you to realize that this is coming forward. And this one is slightly going back, so we can draw things like that. So many different ways of helping you visualize things. So like the chest, we go around this way, body kind of sinks in, and then the arms pretty flat, and then we draw these circles to try to highlight where the bulges are and things like that. Okay, so that's one way of drawing it, going through that. It's, for me, it's a little daunting. Sometimes I just kind of want to draw like some figures without going through all that. And what I would probably do, might not be as successful though, is actually just draw what I see. So here's the chest, he's bending in. Okay, so here's the pelvis, we do need that. His legs coming out. Here's the knee, and then this other leg. There's a bulge here. Coming out. Here's the knee. So I'm still drawing a little bit of that, but I guess it's a little bit more. This is almost like a kind of more of a comic book way. It's just a little bit more fun to me. I'm not looking to be a fine artist, and I'm not. I won't be able to draw those really cool life drawings and have it all shaded with charcoal and things like that. Okay, so here's the leg coming down. So this is just a way of drawing and just kind of having fun. And to me, I think if you're having fun drawing it, that's really more important than anything else. Okay, so here's a little angle here. We can exaggerate that. Here's the knee. We can make it a little bit harder, right? Comes out. Okay, so let's come back up here. So this is how I would draw it, just to have a little bit more flexibility. And since I don't draw these kind of life drawings every day, so I don't really have a certain style, but I do like to draw things I see, so I'm just doing it this way. Okay, so here's the shoulder. So arm going out, we can draw a line. Okay, things in. Here's the elbow. So hopefully it doesn't turn out too bad. If it's worse than what we have there, then my way really sucks, right? Okay, let's see. I'm rushing on this because I actually want to shade. That's the fun part to me. Okay, so here's the arm. Here's the elbow. Here's the hand. We can't see it, but we can just kind of guess what that is. The head, there is a very good point about the head, and you should draw the head last. Because once you have the body, the head, if you start with the head and you end up drawing the body, you might realize that the balance is off. But if you draw the most of the body first, and then you can kind of draw the head, you can actually adjust the head for the body. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I mean, that's what I've been told, and I think it does work because I notice if I draw this last, it always comes out better. Okay, so obviously this is off. Okay, so let's just go with it. I mean, I'll adjust it when I'm actually shading. Arm. All right, let's start shading, which is the fun part. So sometimes I would like to do, again, I'm using a 6B. It's actually just visualize the dark part first. So here is a shadow, and this is actually kind of fun. This will really loosen you up in terms of sketching. So just see the dark part and just shade that. So here, darker. Underneath right here, the belly is really dark. Okay, and then here's the arm. This part's dark. There's a little bit of shape here. This part's dark, the bicep. And then underneath here, again, this one's dark, and then here's the hand. I can draw the lower part, or the bottom part is always a little bit darker. Okay, this part's darker, and then he's got, oh, we gotta draw those tights. So let's see, let's bump here. Okay, let's just make this all the way dark then. Yeah, the clothing is, not as interesting. If you guys can find nude images, actually a little bit better. That way we don't have to, we can see more the body. Okay, so that's just dark. And then underneath the legs, again, my proportions are off now, so I'll adjust for it as I'm doing it right here. Okay, this part's dark. Here's the bulge. I'm adjusting the knees over here. I know I'm going a little fast, but whether or not you guys are following, it's okay, because I need to be quick on this, because if you slow down, then you kind of lose that. End up being a little bit too tight. Okay, so I'll just erase that. So with sketching, yeah, just do it fast. Don't worry if things are wrong. We can always fix it. Like here's the knee. So I'm readjusting things again. Okay, it goes down a little bit lower. So this is a little bit more accurate now. Okay, so again, here's the dark part here, the legs on the back. There's a bulge here. Here's the knee. Okay, this is very sharp here. There's a little angle right here on the knee. And then this part of the lower part it's kind of receding a little bit, so this part is going to be dark and this part is going to be really dark. And his foot comes back out. Okay, so that's a little bit lighter there. And let's see, let's finish up top here as well. And then we'll go in and really have some fun on the shading, because that's what life drawing is all about. You know, learning to shade and see the forms. Extremely good exercise. Okay, the head, we can ignore the head for now. Okay, again, dark. I'm just concentrating on the dark areas. This arm here, a shadow. Let's give this one more shade. Okay, so now that I have the kind of like the overall, you know, shading for this. Now I'm gonna go in and let's just refine it a little bit. So this part could be a little bit darker. There's a little bounce light here, so if I make this darker, all of a sudden this becomes lighter and it creates a really nice bounce light right there, right? So here, all along the edge right here. So now we have some nice bounce light on the hand and the shoulder. And it's starting to kind of come alive a little bit. And I can make this a little bit darker just to give it, you know, there's some definition there, right? Obviously, so. Okay. And then on the bottom here, this part's cool. We have to make this dark right underneath the armpit. Now this part really pops up. And that's what I really like about this way of drawing. It's just very loose, and then, you know, things start to come out and appear, which is cool. Okay, so the belly here, really dark. There's less of a bounce light because his clothing, his short right here is black. So, I mean, there is some here, but not as much because it is black. I'm gonna turn my pencil so I get a nice sharp edge. Just push that in. And all along the edge on the bottom here is darker. So here's this part right here, around the little crease. This part's dark. And then we can add a couple of these just for the rib cage. You know, it's not very accurate, but just want to add something to it. Okay, and now we can add in the neck right here. So I'm just following wherever I'm, you know, I'm coming down here, I'm coming back up here. So it's kind of overall movement to it, so you're not stuck in one area. Okay, this part can be a little bit darker. There's some bones here. I guess the sternum. I do know some anatomy names. Alright, so here's the arm. Again, this, see this right here, this one sinks in, this thing comes back out. So that will give that little bump there. And I'm turning my pencil on these hard edges. I'm just do a slight turn and just push it right in. It gives the strokes a little bit more life when we're free and, you know, not always in shading with one area, because it give us some variation. Like let's see, if you draw like a line like this, you know, it's rather boring, right? If you keep doing like this. But if you go like this and then go like that, or just like this, even if you turn it, maybe a line like this and go this way, this has a lot more movement than, you know, this kind of stuff. So it's like, so if I turn it, or cross hatch, whatever, just try to feel the tip of the pencil. Okay, and let's see, let's keep going. Okay, shading here, jawline. All right, let's come back down here because I want to concentrate on the bigger muscles, because, you know, it's a lot more fun, right? We can always grind and go in later. So the bottom here is dark. So again, here's the terminator. This is where the light, you know, terminator is where the light falls off. So here some there's a bulge here in the bottom. Okay, there's bulge here, And then the top, we can exaggerate that, just make it a little bit bigger. It's always good to exaggerate actually when you're drawing muscles, just give it a little extra punch. It is art, by the way. You know, we don't draw exactly what we see. We draw kind of what we see, but we also, you know, draw kind of what we want to see, right? If we want to see something that comes out, we can exaggerate it to have a little bit more impact. Okay, the foot is very complicated. You know, foot and hands, and spend a lifetime drawing those things. Okay, so let's see. So here, all right, let's try to get back my trainer dot here. Dark here, right on the back. So the foot, make this really dark because that will help anchor the body, because what is dark has weight. So if you actually make this a little bit darker, you actually feel more weight to this, and it'll help anchor everything. So the foot and hands are very important. And obviously my proportion is way off right here, right? Because this needs to be longer. But okay, let's just forget that. All right, let's come back here. This leg is cool. This leg's got a lot of cool stuff going on here. Again, here's the knee. There's a little, almost like a triangular shape here. I think if you draw enough of you'll notice that. Okay, so it's gonna come down. This is almost like a line. There's this bone right here. I don't know what it's called, but now this is facing the knee right here. This is facing bottom, so it's gonna be really dark. This comes out. This part here is darker, okay, because this is facing down. And now I'm pushing really hard on the paper here. Yeah, this is really fun. I mean, it's like, you know, once in a while you have to do some life drawing. Okay, right here, top of the foot. And come back up here, there's more little details. You know, if we want to add in the smaller stuff. Because right now, you know, we're just kind of adding the big stuff. And then now we can come in and start refining little things. Okay, so very simple, right? But it's actually, you can feel the figure, and it feels about right in terms of lighting. Well, let's make the short a little bit darker, because it will give this area some form. And this part here is dark. This thing goes around, so this is almost a contour line, right? And it goes around here, so that really helps to sell the form. So this, you know, this kind of stuff is very important. Okay, so now that I've shaded, I see a lot of errors in terms of proportions. You know, if you're drawing this, don't worry about it, because it's not important, you know, if things are off. What is important to get the overall shading well and get that correct. If you care too much about accuracy, it really ruins things. Okay, the hand, again, more complicated. This part's darker, so I think the fingers are bent. Okay, so I'm just looking at the dark parts, and then I'll just go for it. Darker. And then the face, ear, here's the eye. So you can draw the ear first, actually, because if you draw the ear like this and you go right across, the eye should be right around here. So sometimes that's a quick way of, you know, kind of getting the proportions somewhat correct, you know, without spending too much time. So here's the eye, and his hair. His hair is very cool. It's wet, a lot of shine. And the back part here is very dark. So it comes across like this. I'm again turning my pencils. Ear darker. Okay, and then some muscle here. Okay, so now kind of like this, these are like the smaller, I guess not as bulging, and the lighting is a little bit flatter, so those are the smaller details. Okay, and let's see. Let me sharpen up my pencil, and then I'm gonna come in here and do another pass on this because I think I'm having too much fun. All right, I'm back, and I mean I was having too much fun to stop, so that's why I had to sharpen up my pencil. And all right, let's keep going. Let's add some more details. And now that I have the the major forms filled in, when I'm drawing the smaller stuff, you can actually follow the direction of the strands of the muscle, or just kind of crosshatch, draw these kind of curvier lines, and that'll help, almost like contour lines. It's just a slight contour, and that will help to sell the shape. Like the biceps right here. Instead of going this way, I can go this way, and that'll really help to give this, just some more form. Dark. The chest right here, we can go this way. All right, now you see it. Now you feel like there's muscle going down that way. Here, let's see, let's come up here. Let's come down here. So I'm just cleaning some stuff up. Here, dark. This is really dark here. There's a little fold. More detail here. Let's come down to the leg. I'm just jumping all the way around. Okay, so that gives it more form. Right here, this is actually pretty important. I'm gonna erase this part out. Normally, with these kind of drawings, it's nice to not to erase, but sometimes you kind of miss the highlight right there. Bulging here. So sharper again, I'm keep turning my pencil, and then we gotta bring back this highlight here. Just keep turning so I can get that sharp edge. This part's darker here. It's getting smaller and smaller, my lines. Let's come to this leg now. So if I keep going, let's say I'll keep going on this. Let's see if I push it quite a bit, see what I'm gonna get. So let's see, highlight. Let's try to make this area really nice. So I'm very light on my hand. I don't push down as hard when I want to soften things up. So here. So I'm just doing these wiggy circular strokes, smooth things out. Let's give this a little bit more structure here. Hope you guys are doing well. Still mornings right now. Before the kids come back from school, and then it'll be all over in terms of art. Okay, so this part's darker here. Okay, well, let's come back here. Let's try to refine this. This knee is really cool. It's a little bit of a highlight here. I know some of these areas are off, but I'm just doing what I can without erasing and changing those things. I just want to have a nice shading here. This part's dark. See, this line right here is a little bit too harsh, right? It looks kind of weird, but it looks a little bit more stylized now that I've drawn that hard line. Okay, the lighting, this is important because it comes all the way down here like this. Okay, so this needs to be dark, and then it kind of flans out, but then it gets dark again. And then here's the bounce light. So once you start shading the smaller stuff, you're gonna see all those little, differences or nuances in the form. All right, so this is the final drawing. Actually, I didn't do much off camera. The camera just kind of went off without me knowing. So I just kind of continue shading a little bit more, not too much. I think you saw everything on camera already. So if you like this and my other art, please do check me out at my Patreon page. Just patreon.com/artaway, and there's gonna be more of this stuff. I'm just getting started on that. There's gonna be a lot more content. So I hope you guys enjoy me there, and if not, I'll always be here. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.